And well, as Adam Lemmery brings up as well now, AJ and SVG as teammates, that's going to be awesome. Those two will be battling on road courses. So let's get into the second part of this announcement. This one, maybe not as expected, but we have it here for you right now anyway. The team announced earlier today a partnership with Trackhouse that will allow Shane van Gisbergen to run alongside Allmendinger full-time in the series, and they even gave him his personalized number 97 car for Kaulig Racing. He will also run 7 Cup Series races as part of his 2024 schedule. That's COTA, both Talladega races, the Coca-Cola 600 Charlotte, the street race at Chicago, Watkins Glen, and the fall race at Las Vegas. So, Matt, what can we expect from SVG in 2024 as he continues to get acclimated to the NASCAR world?
Well, to your point about being a legacy AJ Allmendinger fan, I will wave the SVG flag on this show, as people will know. I was waiting with bated breath for this news to come out, and I was shocked to see that he's going to get a full run for the championship in Xfinity. I thought it would be a mishmash job of some ARCA, some truck. The Cup races, we kind of knew where he would run, relatively speaking, in the Cup Series, and there it is on screen there. And then, yeah, full Xfinity Series. Wowee. The first 2 races, he's going to get at Daytona and then Atlanta. That's going to be eye-opening. But, well, you know, this guy's come, he turned up at Chicago and won last year. He got a top 10 at Indianapolis. He finished on the lead lap in his Truck Series debut at IRP. He came from the back of the grid in the New Zealand Grand Prix a couple of years ago, the Toyota Racing Series, from, I think he was a pit lane start and ended up winning. He's been on the podium in WRC2. He's not a rally driver. Anything he turns his hand to just turns to gold. So surely he'll get a win or two. There's plenty of Xfinity, road course races, of course, especially in that early part of the season. COTA as well in there with Sonoma, Portland, of course, where hopefully our man Joe can get down there and get him in front of a camera for us. That'd be cool. Chicago, he obviously goes there with track experience and a win. So very excited for this. He's got his number, which is cool as well. But Talladega in the Cup race, those kind of things are going to be eyes on stalks stuff for him. They'll be completely out of his comfort zone for a couple of runs on those big super speedways. But I do feel like places like Martinsville, Iowa, well, I don't go to Iowa anymore. I was going to say Iowa, but they don't go to Iowa, of course, anymore. Places of that sort of ilk, Richmond, you'd think he'd be fairly on the pace. He's not like he's in dud equipment.
Yeah, one correction real quick. He was 1 lap down in the Truck Series start.
Sorry.
I think he said lead lap, but that's all right. But he was on the lead lap for much of the night. You're right. I mean, he definitely performed very, very well. And again, I don't think, well, first of all, I don't think you could have expected him to go out and win Chicago. But you can't say you're shocked that he did what he did because of how great he is in the Supercars series, of course. But I think he ran very well, doing something completely different, running, going from a street race in Chicago to, short track and IRP in a truck, for crying out loud. I think that he adapted very, very well to that. And, I have no doubt that he'll continue to do so in Xfinity, certainly on the road courses. And we'll get into that here and that discussion in just a moment, because we know how good Allmendinger is on road courses as well. Adam Lemmery saying SVG at Dega, that's going to be incredible. Certainly going to be entertaining to watch that. Good to see Matthew Owens in the chat. Welcome, Matthew. Low-key disappointed with the SVG truck, or a Cup schedule, rather, if the goal is to get him ready for full-time Cup in, I believe it means 25, then I think he needs to be on more oval experience with the next-gen car. Matt, what do you think of that?
Yeah, and Matthew made that point in our chat this afternoon as well. And he brought up the point of Chase Elliott when he came in and he ran at Darlington and he ran at Martinsville and then came in full-time. What has he got? Vegas and the super speedways. It was a bit of an odd choice. I would have liked to have seen him at maybe Darlington, maybe Kansas. Oh, he's doing the Coke 600 as well, of course.
Yeah.
But maybe another mile and a half, and maybe a short track in the Cup Series, maybe like a Bristol or a Martinsville in there would have been nice. But he's going to get plenty of seat time, much more, and that's one of the reasons he's coming across, is because there's so many more opportunities to race rather than just 12 weekends a year, which he would have been getting in Australia.
Yeah, well, and I'll say this. I know that, that we're still trying to figure out, there were some conflicting reports today. Will these cup starts all be with Kaulig? Will they be with, an extra trackhouse car like the Project 91 car, for example? Will they be a mix of both? I'll tell you this, Kaulig's team motto is trophy hunting. So if they're part of this deal as well, maybe they're thinking, let's get him some oval experience, but let's also make sure we get him on a handful of road courses where we know he could be a threat to do what he did at Chicago, and ran very well at IMS in his second start there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs. But going full time, to your point, Matt, as well, that was a bit of a surprise to me. I thought it would kind of be a mix across everything, and I do think there might be some Truck Series starts with Nice, or maybe he'll run. I mean, people are saying, does he have to run the ARCA race at Daytona to be qualified to run, on these super speedways and everything? I don't know exactly how that's going to work out, but I think there will be a mixture even beyond what was just announced today to get him as much experience as possible.